Welcome back to Copa America. This is Group A, and this is a fresh best of three. Score is currently 0-0. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map here in the winner's bracket. It's going to be the Blue Zerg player from Solaris Gaming, Jonsnow.
In the upper right, as the red Terran, it is Major.
Yeah, Major's already sending on SCV. They can't really
Oh
mean
no.
one thing.
Oh my god. Overgrowth seems to be the new map for 2-racks, you know? Like every season we get a new map pool, and there's always that one map where everyone chooses to do a 2-racks.
Well, I think it's because the late game on Overgrowth is just, it's so horrible for Terran players to try and lock down that fourth. It's not fun, and we're seeing a lot of Zergs favor this map, hardcore. This and Merry-Go-Round.
Every new map is kind of Zerg favored. That's just kind of how it went.
Well, I mean, statistically, even through Copa America, this map has been very Zerg favored. So wherever you're getting your stats from, guys, the reality is this makes a lot of sense for Major to do this. Now, what I do like is he's doing this in a very unconventional location. A lot of the times we see the 2-racks coming down towards the third, and a lot of the times Zerg players have just by process of, I guess, I don't know, learning not to die, started scouting over there. So these 2-racks will go unscouted for the time being.
The process of learning how to die.
Well, I was going to say elimination, but that's not correct.
Oh, Jonsnow doing the greatest thing possible as well. You know, 16 gas, 16 pool. Okay. Yeah, he has no idea this is coming. You know, so often we don't see Zerg players necessarily scout for the 2-racks itself, although that is certainly some players' cases. We see them just scout the main at the very least with a drone, and it's going to be such a surprise for Jonsnow.
Looks like he's not going to go for the further back. Okay, never mind. I was going to say one of the big things is depending on where this first bunker gets placed down, lets you know just how scared Major is about this working versus not. If you nestle that first bunker right up next to the hatchery, you know that you're just playing very confident. But safe than sorry is Major. He wants a quick victory in game number 1. He's going to put the safety bunker down first. This is perfectly fine. For what Jonsnow sees, this looks normal, but sadly it's not normal, not the slightest.
You know, seeing a no 14cc on the low ground.
How did
I guess it could
go over?
He didn't. He just chose not to. He just assumed.
That's a mistake.
It could be a 14cc on the high ground, but if there's an SCV scout and there's no CC that you can see, then it's going to be at 2-racks. Like, Terrans don't SCV scout when they can get a Reaper, but that's
some
neither
do.
here nor there.
Some do, but majority don't.
Oh well, on a 4-player, 3-player map, yeah.
Yeah.
On a 2-player map.
Well, regardless, I really don't like they didn't send the Overlord over, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's so common to have the Marine openings. There's never going to be, or sorry, the Reaper openings. There's never going to be those Marines to shoot down the Overlords. Now, for Jonsnow, sadly, this is going to have to die. If the Queen had gotten out, if you've been able to lay down a Creep Tumor, maybe there'd be an exception to be made somewhere along the lines with Spine Crawlers. But he's just going for Baneling Nest behind this. He's going to try and bust through, and I don't think that's going to be the way to deal with this. Not with the way Major plays it.
There's always a chance that they don't expect it. You would think that if you get the hatchery free, you even get a scout. Sometimes they just either don't think of it actually coming, or they just don't know how to defend against it. I don't know, but sometimes Terran players just
he's gonna push up this.
Oh, that's also another fear, is that without a spine crawler, you can push up here.
Yeah, Baneling Nest is so far from being finished. Major. Again, continue to play this safe. I like this move.
Oh, you can't get it with 4 speed finishes.
No, but he's still going to get it, which means no more Zerglings, which means no more Spine Crawlers, which means no more Queens. The SVs did back off a little bit. Major gets surrounded, but there's more Marines coming out of this. And quite frankly, I think he's still good to go. Those larvae on the low ground actually might end up being Jonsnow saving grace, though. 3 links coming from the behind.
Right? The SCV is going to finish that bunker.
Oh, no!
Nope.
Not quite.
And you'll be able to tear down the second bunker with only 3 Marines.
Okay, so Jonsnow started to recover a little bit from this, but quite frankly, the Baneling Nest is going to be less about trying to get through this bunker, guys, and more about trying to get through the supply depots on the other side of the field. That being said, he doesn't have enough links to... Well, actually, he could just run by the bunker. And he can go down the south side and only take about 2 hits.
Yeah, he could.
It's so common to see that as the counterattack. I mean, the Baneling bust is so common. What was it? Empire's Cass, well, no longer Empire, but Cass went to the extent against Golden where he had put down like 7 Raxes at home. He was so worried about the Baneling Nest.
Yeah.
His
bunker will fall. Yeah, he loses 2 Banelings as the last one was focused by Major.
But that's kind of what Major's doing right now, guys. He's executing this double layer to the wall. Command center with these barracks. I think there's a hole, though, between the command center and that left barracks.
Maybe?
Command centers have the worst things for walling. Just straight up. It's always hard to get that corner set, so I have no idea if that's gonna... That looks solidified. Major's gonna be safe, though.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna go down to the depot right there. I mean, I was gonna talk about how maybe Jonsnow could be, like, fine, quote-unquote, like, because he didn't lose any drones, but still 18 to 23, and them being so secure, it's probably still better to just try and do this all in than try and macro out of it.
I like that. Oh, I like what he just did there. Intentionally pulling the Banes back. Hopefully, I guess he was going to see if he'd have enough for the barracks, but of course, that's not the case. All right,
if that was just a bunker wall off, then that actually would have broken through.
Yeah, the barracks were a little too much. But for those who didn't catch what we were kind of oh my godding about, what he did though, he could have wasted 2 more banelings on those depots and easily torn them all down. But recognizing he didn't need to waste those precious, expensive banelings, he instead just left them towards the back and let the Zerglings finish it off.
It was pretty smart. I actually don't see that nearly as often. Thank you for that.
Sorry, it's I sneezed away from the casting mic, not from your mic. My bad.
Anyways, so Jonsnow just dedicated a lot to attacking, didn't get a whole lot done. He does have enough. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, he didn't take any drone damage. Yeah, he lost a hatchery, which is a pretty big deal, but he took down a bunch of bunkers, took down all the Marines that Major had on the other side of the map, and a couple of SCVs himself. So by having the lings that he had and, you know, not using the banelings that he did, he would have this contained on the low ground for a very long time. Major would have had to waited for 6 Hellions, you know, not just these 2 or 4. So maybe Jonsnow can find a way to macro out of this.
We missed such a great opportunity. I'm so mad about this right now. Well, actually, hang on. If the bands can connect to these Marines on the ramp, this could change quite dramatically. But the ones at the top of the ramp do spread too far. None of the lings made it through, so that kind of sucked. But yeah. Jonsnow coming up that ramp, he didn't know about the barracks. He knew nothing. We missed the great pun. Ugh. I don't even want to cast anymore. It's just not worth it.
I'm sure he'll find another great pun to use for Jonsnow.
I don't know. It's kind of... I just feel like it's gone. That was like a good one, too. That wasn't even like really bad. That was like kind of clever at the same time. But Major going to put 3 barracks in part of the wall. This means only needs 1 depot, of course. But so set, so solidified in his ways that there's just no way for Jonsnow to do counterattack damage. Now, he did start joining up behind this. So he is on 2 bases again, but this is still not a comfort zone. He doesn't have any army supply to fight with should Major push. He's only got Queens for defense. And these Hellions, Zombie Grub, these Hellions, this could get nasty.
I think both attacks, even the one that did some damage to the Marines, the second one, if he had saved all that, he wouldn't be in a terrible position. Like, he might even have enough to fend off the first usual attack that we see with Medivacs, because he had, you know, a lot of lings, and at the beginning, like 12 banelings. The Banshees would have been a problem, but, you know, on 2 bases with 1 spore each, that's still an easy defense. I think Jonsnow, he was always in a difficult position, but not using his lings at all in the offense probably would have been better.
Yeah. The problem is, what's kind of scary, guys, is, well, Hellions certainly are scary right now. It's not going to take much for Major to slap down. He's already got the armor, actually. Transformation service, there we go. This push looks unstoppable, quite frankly.
I keep forgetting about the Hellbats. I'm like, oh, yeah, Hellions aren't that scary. Some lings take care of it, and then I remember those Hellbats. So even those 20 lings, had they survived, this wouldn't have helped.
Even if the Banelings get the best connects here, it's not going to be enough. The Banshee's going to tear through. The Hellbats are going to tear through. This base is screwed. The Queens are going down. Marines might get some good connected by the Banelings, but even then, they still live to see another day. We got more lings coming out, but Hellions across the field going to transform once again, and this is probably going to be game here in just a moment, folks. Actually, with the Spire, he might hold on for a little bit longer, but it's kind of one of those things where you're just playing from behind. He's taking quite a few worker losses.
So far behind. So that's you know, getting a hatch up again is not going to work out.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, the worker losses aren't that bad, but it's losing the hatchery that's going to be really bad. If you can hold the hatchery, Jonsnow actually won't be in too bad of a spot, because he'll have Mutalisks coming out eventually. But, yeah, holding this is so... Can he do it? Like, ugh. I don't think so.
He's only going to have 3 mutas as well. You know, he doesn't have enough money, actually has plenty of gas.
Well, Woodlings will help a little bit. GG, well played. Jonsnow going to go down to game number 1, but Major, more importantly, will take the victory in game number 1.
Probably what Major's expecting, not gonna lie.
Yeah. A 2-Rex, guys, this isn't because Major's sitting there like, oh boy, I don't know how to play the macro game. I mean, if you've seen Major, you know he knows how to play macro game. He can play cheese. I think the thing is, though, he made the right choice. The 2-Rex and Overgrowth makes a lot of sense. It does get a little bit worrisome, though, considering I think a lot of other players may not have put that second layer behind that supply depot wall, and had those links bust through, that could have been game. However, Major made a lot of the right choices. He knew what was coming, and I think the biggest strength we saw that game was his predictions were always just exactly where they needed to be. He knew exactly what was coming, when it was coming.
He was going mech, and he got an additional barracks just to get that wall off correct.
Yeah. Not a lot of Terran players can pull that off the way he did. But map number 2 will be on Way Station. I'm just going to wait a moment here for the mods to host this up all nice like.
Oh, Way Station is also difficult in the macro game for TVC. So I'm talking about all the new maps are kind of Zerg favored.
I don't know, I'm just saying. Island bases.
Island bases. Just pick up your command center.
Put it over there. Well, whether that ends up being the case or not, I think I'm just trying to think more so, like, let's assume Major wins the series, right? And guys, we're not looking down on Jonsnow for that, but again, Major won last season. He's constantly contending with Koreans on a regular basis. Jonsnow, like I said, he'll put up a good fight, but I don't know if he can necessarily take this. So if this goes down to the other side, this means the one best of 3 following this up will be Jonsnow versus Sendo, potentially. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. And I think that will be a little bit more evenly matched, but as seen, guys, and I'm not trying to sell you on fake hype, Jonsnow played that game pretty well despite losing. I mean, he made a lot of the right decisions for a really crappy scenario, a really bad situation, and we'll see if he can make better, more correct decisions this time, I guess.
More better, correct.
Right? Worth noting, by the way, guys, Jonsnow is a Grandmaster, and Major isn't even. I'm just saying. Ugh. Nathanius is Grandmaster. Major's not even Masters. Like, how good can this guy possibly be?
Whoa! Low blow on Nathanius' great achievement.
I'm just saying, like, if Major's not even Grandmaster, like, what chance does he stand? That was obviously just luck.
Obviously, Nathanius can beat Major.
Actually, I was watching it live. It was funny because I remember it was like 3 or 4 games beforehand. He was sitting there like, man, I'm just going to lose this next game, rage quit, and go to bed. And then he kept playing and got Grandmaster, and it was like, I don't know, I was pretty tired too, but I couldn't help but smile for him.
Yeah, he's always talking about it. Complaining isn't the right word because he's always very cheery about it, but he's always talking about him not quite making it to Masters.
Well, GM status for various players aside, we are in the lobby.
One day I'll seriously consider attempting to really try.
You realize no wait, Spite already got GM. I was gonna say you'd be like the first, but I forgot Spite got it. Well, she was the house. But okay, you can be the next.
Plus Madless. Madless would probably get it on NA. She played on NA. But
dude, 100% for Cyril. I want to do like a shumish with you versus Queenie or like Caitlyn or somebody sometime.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it could be Queenie. But like I'd be the first Terran, and we all know that Terran's a lot more difficult than Zerg. Let's just be real.
Let's just be real. Real talk, guys. All right. Real talk aside, map's starting up. We'll see you on Way Station in just a sec, folks. Jonsnow takes game number 2 in a very convincing fashion. Quick game, GG. Next will be game number 3 as the series tied up now 1-1.
Yo, if someone was just waiting for the opportunity to make a Reddit post about how casters are always making that dumb joke about disconnects, you would be like all their examples.
I know, because I always do it. I enjoy it. I don't know what to tell you. It's like dad joke humor.
That's exactly what you are. Congratulations.
Legit, what I always hope is like someone's turned on the stream, right? At just the right moment, they come in, they're like, "Oh, I just missed a sick game," and it's like, "Oh no, I've been fooled. I've been bamboozled by Rifkin."
That's what they do too. They're like, "Ah, bamboozled." They snap their fingers.
It would have to be like that old of a person to use the word bamboozle to get fooled in the first place.
Dude, not even old people use bamboozled unless they're like they're literally alive, like in teenagers in the 1920s.
I've been
Maybe
hoodwinked. I've been hoodwinked by this young.
we don't need to bring back bamboozled though.
I've been-
Seriously, that's a
Hoodwinked by
good
this
word.
young hooligan. This
There's
vandal.
Have you ever seen what was it? Oh, what was it called? It was a Steve Carell. It was actually a really good, like romantic comedy, with like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
Oh, I did not see. I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen that because that was on my
Okay,
to
well,
watch list.
He like his wife tells him that she cheated on him, and he like goes to the bar and he's just like talking to himself pretty much. And he was like, oh, what was the word that he used? Hold on, cuckolded. He was like, we don't use that word anymore.
You know what that means, right? Like,
well, I don't think it means what you're thinking of.
it's got a very specific definition to it that makes it NSFW, my friend.
What do you think it is?
Well, I'm not gonna say it on stream. We can talk about it afterwards. If I just finish telling you it's not safe for work, I'm not gonna use it on a Blizzard stream and then describe it.
It's not a bad word.
It is. Well, it's not a bad word, but it's a bad situation.
It's when a husband has an adulterous wife.
That's not
actually
how I've
what it is.
That's not how I've known it to be
I just looked that up on Wikipedia.
Okay, whatever, man. I'll tell you later.
I knew it was a legit word that, like, you know, it's not used anymore. Maybe the new slang does make it, like, you know, not safe for work, but like
I've only ever heard it used in a different context, so maybe it's one of those things that's changed over time.
Maybe you're thinking of like a different word.
No.
I think I'm saying it correctly, but it is.
Trust me, with the amount of free time I have on the internet, I know what I'm talking about.
Well, obviously you didn't know that that wasn't the actual definition, or you would
It's like you know, English evolves. How like the word sick clearly doesn't mean ill anymore.
All right, look, the next.
What a sick hold out a major.
Okay, so I just read the 1990s slang version, and you're right. But that's what he says. That's what he's like. He's just like looking at everyone and saying that. Like they don't use the word often enough.
Well, thank you, Zombie Gob. You know what? I know I'm pretty good. I know I'm very good at making you uncomfortable sometimes. This is the first time you've ever actually made me uncomfortable on stream. So
really?
Thank you.
I just read what the slang one was, and you're easily uncomfortable.
All right, well, guys, here we go. Game number 2 actually starting up here. All our bad banter aside. Wait, say, Coulter left? Coulter's the streamer. Get him back in here. Shout out to Coulter, by the way, guys. I'm not sure which of the 2 streams he runs, but he has been helping me make sure the English one runs smoothly. What is going on here? We keep starting the game prematurely?
Okay then.
Third time's the charm.
Been bamboozled. I'm gonna bring that back. I think there's such other like really old terms to use.
Oh man, I'm so jealous, by the way. All the people who got into like the Warlords of Draenor alpha. Not the biggest like WoW obsessed guy or whatever, but some of the the new graphics on it look really cool. I like it a lot.
I'll probably get it because my friends are gonna get it, and I want the new graphics. But
I'm just gonna make so many pretty little gnomes.
I don't like gnomes.
It's okay. You don't need to.
I like night owls.
Dude, they're giving night elves like fangs. What's up with that? I'm not a fan of that. That was weird. Like vampires.
My friends play Horde anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, well, I believe everybody is here in the lobby this time. I've had a lot of joining and relieving. A kind of really big part of me wants to just leave on the next countdown to troll, but I feel like that would be very disrespectful, so I shall
go
not.
Without you.
Okay, well, I wish I spoke Spanish. I don't know what's going on. There we go, though, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we get into Way Station. See you in a moment. Welcome back to Copa America, game number 2 in the winner's bracket for Group A. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning the top left corner of the map for Solaris Gaming, it's going to be the Blue Zerg player, Jonsnow.
The bottom right, not sending out a second SUV. It's going to be Major as the Red Terran. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping and
See the
would have
888?
really loved T-Rex.
Just straight up 2x back to back.
Thing.
That'd be pretty mean. That'd be pretty mean.
It would be.
Alright, well, Major, he went for a bit of cheese last time we saw Way Station, guys. It's a bit odd that we get these spawn locations back to back. Again, it's like 50-50 whether you spawn up here or down here, but this is the longest way to play, and this provides two, quite frankly, large problems for both Zerg and Terran players alike. One is, like, let's say, hypothetically, it's 15 minutes from now. Major's got his giant army, it's pushing in the fourth over here, top right, and Jonsnow just goes for a counterattack rather than going for the defense. Major has no way to get home, is thus kind of forced to go for a bit of a base trade. Same thing for Jonsnow. You need creep spread so freaking badly, and even if you get it, even then, it's not easy to respond to drops over here and drops over here at the same time. So for both players, they're going to have to be very, very diligent about scouting information, otherwise they'll be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
This map seems to pretty much boil down to the typical attack on the fourth that we see so often in TVZ.
Yeah.
And if it is perfectly held, the Terran's in a pretty bad position. Getting above to 4 bases without, you know, having the Zerg, you know, limping a little bit is just, it makes the map so difficult. But if the fourth attack on the fourth is successful, it's like really successful because you're also attacking on to the left. And you're certainly doing a lot of damage. It always seems to boil down to that. Whether or not the fourth attack either gets squashed or does anything at all really changes how the Terran can be effective on this map.
I do think the drops carry a lot of favor here too. So many of the new maps we're watching, like Merry-Go-Round, they really have kind of deterred drop play, mostly due to the air blockers, of course. But you know, this is a map where, if done correctly, you can execute a lot and tear somebody to bits through their attention span, if nothing else. And Jonsnow, you know, he got cheesed down in game number 1. He's really got to bring it back strong for this one. And this is one of the few times I'm really hoping a player doesn't go for Roach Hydra.
Yeah, we've said this before. We saw someone try, who was it? Tefl?
Tefl always goes for Roach Hydra, so I mean,
Yeah,
you wouldn't be
so
wrong saying that.
Yeah, well, we recently cast him, and he tried on this map, and it didn't work at all, actually. And it wasn't just because of the map, but it was also like, some other things. But the map definitely did not help him either. So definitely expect Ling you to.
Third Reaper is on the way. Curious choice here. One of the big things for Major was he did scout the gas, and he saw the speed timing, so still insisting on going for it. I guess he'll have it home for the defense.
Yeah.
Alright, so these Lings aren't going to get a lot done, sadly. They did do a nice job sort of sneaking around the map. This means that Third Reaper not across the field won't be that dangerous. Usually the Third Reaper here really early, that's when you start killing queens. You can actually, if done with like the most perfect micro in the universe, kill a queen in one trip with 3 Reapers, but typically it's 2. 1 round to heal, 1 round to get back and finish it. But Major softening out for the time being.
He's got to go now, though. It's almost 6 minutes. He knows it. Has to go back. That's why the Third Reaper, you know, stayed behind, was because, well, he probably knew the Lings were on the way, but also, by the time he gets over here on such a long map, the Lings already have speed, and it's useless, you know. It's really powerful when it's paired with the Hellions, so it's not really the most urgent matter to get over there killing or hurting queens a little bit.
True enough. The thing for Major, too. This is kind of a scary thought to consider. He does play a really strong bio game. Oftentimes we're seeing players who try and delve into mech struggle on this map because it is such a slow composition, but Major's probably going to stick to what he knows best, and for Jonsnow, that's not going to be good news moving forward. There's not a lot he can really do in the early game, but I do like that he's going to go for this third. It's not going to be too easy to secure, though, but he's already on the job as far as spreading creep goes to make sure that this won't get knocked down by Hellbats later on.
Okay, we have a Roachborn on the way for Jonsnow. He is getting a third base, but, you know, Hyun is someone who does lots with, you know, a third base. It's almost a fake, you know, it's only used for its production and goes for Roach Baneling all in. That seems to be Jonsnow's plan as well.
I actually like this move a lot. This could work out very well against a player like Major who does do sort of this more early game focused attack. Now, with the army in the way and the Banshee, he'll be able to deal with the roaches as long as the banelings don't get crazy connects, but the scariest thing to consider is whether it's roach baneling for an all-in or whether it's roach baneling for the defense. Either way, none of these units are going to have the biggest speed off of creeps, roaches especially with no layer tech, so it's not going to be fun trying to outrun a Banshee that's chasing you down this entire map.
Yeah, exactly. This is why the Banshee is a very good choice for Major. You know, the Banshees, it does delay stim a little bit in marine production, but you get some safety and, of course, some really good scouting as well. Now, he has not seen the 2 Evo chambers at the front, which there are some Zerg players who don't put at the front, but almost every single one does, so that's kind of a tell already. Something's up, and of course now he sees the roaches.
Yeah, Watchtower Specialist can confirm this. Some links running ahead. Probably turn into some banelings right away. There's no bunker in this wall. That's what's going to suck.
Yeah. He needs some bunkers. Okay, there's not a lot to put in it, which, you know, is always something to be kind of like, oh, haha, something to put in anyways. But the bunkers sometimes do tank up, you know, banelings that are just doing whatever they want, or...
He does find the banelings, though. That was some really nice guesswork out of Major.
That, like...
That actually shuts us down, I think.
Yeah, that shuts down all the baneling potential. He only has so many to make. That's only 6.
2 Banshees can shut down the roaches. He's securing the Hellbats, too. Hellbats can tank with the roaches, no problem.
With only Hellions, you know, the slow banelings ain't gonna do nothing. Maybe the Lings themselves could do something, but I'm sure Major's even worried about that. And Major is so confident he lifts his wall. You know, that command center is part of his wall.
Well, banelings coming from behind. Gonna get a connector, too.
Up. Ooh, that was close.
Go for the mineral line, though. Oh, the SCVs! Oh, no! Major pulled the wrong direction, and suddenly this actually ends up doing some real damage. Something it was struggling to do in the first place. 17 SCVs down. Major not out of this game yet, but boy, was that a mistake. Had he not lifted the command center, that would have never happened.
You know, I think that it still was not enough damage for the delay in tech, the delay in upgrades. No, you know, only 40 workers. I don't think that was enough damage still, but that went from doing like absolutely nothing to at least something. Yeah.
No, it's the Banshees did such a good job picking off a lot of those units before the attack came in, but Ling's flooding in for round 2. The Hellions that are left are really not that numerous, and it's not a lot of health on them either. So, realizing the Hellions are moving out, he's actually going to find a sweet time to get in here. There's still no wall.
Oh my god.
I don't think he was expecting round 2 out of Jonsnow.
No, I do not think so either. He doesn't get into the main, but the natural is still full and juicy with SCVs. It's just, he's starting to make it work a little bit more.
Oh yeah, so it's going to get cleaned up, but 17 workers suddenly becomes 24, and this is feeling a little bit better. But the third base has been established, and this third base is going to go down. With 3 Banshees of DPS, you actually cannot reposition the Spore Crawler, guys. 4 Banshees of DPS! If you reposition the Spore Crawler, it dies before it burrows. Watch. It's like magic. Well, she's just going to walk around it.
Here's what's really nice about Major right now is that, yes, he is going for factories, which, you know, for mech, which you can't see a lot of Banshees to begin with. But since he knew there was a Roach Baneling all in, he knew that mutas were probably not on the way. So dedicating to more than just 2 or 3 Banshees was definitely within, like, you know, damage dealing capabilities. And obviously he's doing a lot of damage with it.
4 Banshees hit so stupidly hard. It's ridiculous, but...
That Queen got 2-shotted.
Yeah, pretty much. Major gonna just hammer away on top of this. Can't quite deal with the Banshees. Doesn't have enough transfuse energy.
Queens. Yeah, I was like, well, don't even try and focus on the hatchery. Just kill Queens.
Okay, if he was focusing on the Banshees instead of the Hellion, he would have gotten a second Banshee there.
He's gonna win on Banshees.
Yeah, other side of the field, there's Hellbats, there's Hellions. This is really unfortunate for Jonsnow.
Yeah, he he threw down, I think, 4 spores, which is usually okay against even 3 Banshees, but he just kept on making more Banshees.
I think, as well, one thing to consider is if this was a different map with smaller spawn locations, that Roach Baneling hit might have worked out a little bit better, too. The distance it had to travel was way too far.
It was very far.
But that'll send Major quickly through Group A, so he'll get out of here nice and safe and sound. Because Wingy could not play today and there was that forfeit down below, that'll send Jonsnow to the losers match where he'll fight who would have otherwise been the winner of the previous series, but by default win is going to be Sendo. So another TDZ coming at you guys in a moment's time. It'll be the last... yeah, the winner of this one will also go through, so the last one tonight. Like we said, a nice short and sweet group because we sadly were missing one of the players today, but no complaints here.